Hello, and welcome to our Ballers Basketball Stats instructional video. This video will cover our new Scouting Reports feature and go through some of our settings in the Setup tab. To create a Scouting Report, we have to tap Scouting. It's located on the game chart screen under the Time and Replay button on the scoreboard. Select the team and player to begin. Our scouting tool gives you the capability to rate a player's abilities on the court, both on offense and defense. These ratings will generate an overall score for that player. In addition to skill ratings, you can also write some notes for later reviewing. As you can see here, we have already entered in information for a player beforehand. Let's add some new information. Tap on the text box to add text. Now let's change the player's rating by adjusting the sliders. You will notice that when you change the score for a skill, the overall score for that player will change. Now that we're done evaluating that player, let's take a look at the scouting reports for the player we just evaluated. Head on over to the Reports tab, and in the Reports picker, we're going to scroll down to Scouting Report by Player. Select the player we just scouted and tap View. In the scouting report, we have the evaluation score and the notes that were made on the game chart screen, along with the player stats for all games played, shooting analysis for all games played, and a shot chart that shows all the players' on-court activity. Now we're going to switch to the settings part of this video. This part of the video will cover important settings that will help you create a more customized experience for your team. First, we're going to skip right to Scoreboard Image under the Customization section. Scoreboard Image allows you to place an image behind the scoreboard. All the images that can be used within Ballers are images that are already on the device. So if you want to use an image from your computer for Ballers, you must first place it on your device using iTunes. For your convenience, we have listed the dimensions of the area so you can tailor your image to fit that area. This is an example of what a custom image would look like in the scoreboard. Now let's take a look at our different scoreboard colors and designs in case you do not want an image. Let's take a look at how red looks. Now blue, white, and clear. We have other colors as well to fit your preferences. Make sure you check them all out. Now I'm going to explain what some of the next items mean and how they can be useful for customization. First, we have court image. Even though we offer high school, college, FIBA, and NBA courts, sometimes you may want to use an image of your home team court to add that customized look. Next, we have report image. The report image is usually your team logo. This logo will be displayed on reports that are generated. We also have the turn on report border option. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Report border on, report border off. Next, we have use team logo on scoreboard. If your team has a logo, its logo will show up on the scoreboard if you have this option on, like seen here. Post without pictures allows you to post scores to Twitter and Facebook without attaching a screenshot of the game chart. You can also hide the Twitter and Facebook buttons on the game chart screen. Now let's move on to the next section, game clock operations. Auto start clock after action will start the clock once you record an action on the court. Initial clock at pregame will give you a pregame clock before the game starts. Stop clock in the background will stop the clock when the app exits. This is helpful when you get calls or accidentally hit the home button. The following buzzer settings will automatically have the buzzer sound off at the appropriate time. Running clock will keep the clock running for those games that have a running clock set up. Annual shot clock restart. This option will force the user to restart the shot clock by tapping it each time it expires. Reset shot clock after made shot will automatically reset the shot clock when a shot is made by a player. And stop game clock with shot clock will stop the game clock when the shot clock expires. Now let's move on to the next section, game chart operations. The English language setting is for our users that are using a device that is set in another language. This English switch will turn everything back to English. Replay actions. This slider controls the amount of actions that will be displayed on the game chart when viewing a replay. A single game can have well over 200 actions, so make sure to increase this number if you want to see all the actions in the replay. Use play-by-play to sync score and stats. This feature takes a look at the recorded play-by-play actions and checks to make sure that the score and stats add up correctly. If you want to rely on play-by-play to make sure your score and stats stay correct, make sure to turn this on. And we have bonus level and double bonus level. This represents the amount of files that have to be reached to make it to those levels. Next, we have Visual Insight Manager, or also known as Game Insights. This section is the same as Game Insights on the game chart screen. Check out our game chart video to get a better sense of how it works. Now on to the MVP calculator section. MVP calculator calculates the MVP for every game in each team and is displayed on the reports for that game. Here, we can change the importance of certain aspects of the game. If you feel that points should be emphasized more than turnovers or steals, increase the number. Next, we have game rules. These are the game rule sets that we have to choose from. You can edit these by tapping the blue arrow. If you want to create your own rule set, tap New Rule Set at the bottom and enter in your custom values. Swipe to delete a rule set. Next, we have Message Center. Message Center will provide you with information such as home stats, team MVPs, and you can write your own messages to be displayed on the game chart screen. Let's take a look at how it works. Switch to portrait mode to see Message Center. Active game defaults allows you to state what season you are currently in, so type in a year. Shooting zones. We have created shooting zones for you. You can change these shooting zones depending on your tastes. Now, if you go down to shooting analysis, you will see that the shooting analysis uses the above settings in the shooting zone section to determine how well your team is shooting at various distances away from the basket. Stats customization is the next section. This section allows you to change a stat category in case you do not want to use it. For example, if you do not want to keep track of deflections, change the name of it to an action that you want to track, such as dives. Under play-by-play customization, you can change the way play-by-play is displayed. For example, you can change missed field goal into failed field goal attempt, and in play-by-play, failed field goal attempt will appear. Lastly, we have release and support information. Tap support to send us an email if you have any questions. Tap website to check out other E6 apps. And most importantly, tap ratings to give us a rating on the App Store. And as always, if you have any other questions, please feel free to email us at support@e6-technologies.com.